Mashiach comes, there's some practical shaylas about what brachos are we going to need to make when Mashiach comes. So there's a lot of discussion between many poskim about the unique, special brachos we will need to make when Mashiach comes. What are they? There's a tshuva from Chaim Falaji. He wrote Sefer Lev Chaim. He's a chashav. He's sometimes a Marash, Semach Tzedek. See, he writes in a tshuva about what brachos we're going to need to make when Mashiach comes. Someone was asking him. So he writes. He says he thinks we're going to need to make a bracha Gal Yisrael. Maybe sure redeem the sukkah out of the Golos. We're going to have to make such a bracha, just like in that. Gayel Yisrael. Just like in the Haggadah, we make a bracha. We think the Eibusher. So too, Lasud Lavi. So first, Maramakim writes, "V'nire the mevarchin birchas Gayel Yisrael that Asher Galonu Migolos Hamar Hazeh. The Eibusher took us out of this bitter Golos. Ukaseidah shetiknu b'seif Haggadah. Just like we say in the end of the Haggadah, v'nidol chasher chodosh al gulaseinu v'al pedus nafshenu. U'mevarchin make a bracha Gal Yisrael. K'meikin yeh hagula hasid lavei dinhira b'yameinu amen." So too, Lasud Lavi. Right, he says he thinks we're going to make this bracha. Oh, Goyel Yisrael. His name is Chaim Falaji. He wrote a lot of Sfarim. He's one of the Chashva Peskim. And I don't know, he's a Sfardish. He was in Izmir. Is that in Turkey or Istanbul? I don't know, somewhere around there. Izmir. He was a Rav. He was a Rav in Izmir. His Sfarim are well known. So he says we're going to make a bracha Gayel Yisrael. That's the first bracha. So later in the tshuva, so the person was asking also, what about Shehechiyanu? When Mashiach comes, what we need to make a bracha Shehechiyanu? So he writes, he says, yeah, not only are we going to make Shehechiyanu, we're going to need to make Kiddush. It's going to be Yom Tov, we're going to make Kiddush. So in the second Maramakim he writes, for sure, Lasud Lavei the Gula is going to be a complete Yom Tiv. And we're going to have to make Kiddush, just like on Simple Seder, just like on Shavuos, on Purim, on Pesach, on Sukkot, you make up a Kiddush. So too, Lasud Lavei by the Gula. And only a part of making Kiddush on Yom Tiv is you make a bracha Shehechiyanu. Says you heard in the name of the Knesses Agdela, one of the Chashav Pesachim. And today it's the Yom Tov Gomer. We're going to make Kiddush. Part of Kiddush Hayim is we're going to make a Shehechiyanu. So I don't know. So he's saying, is it going to be a Isser Melacha? So if we're making Kiddush, it should be Isser Melacha. All the other dinim should have kicked in. He doesn't say it. It's an interesting point you're bringing up. Is there going to be Isser Melacha? So that's what Chaim Falaji says. He says the brachas we're going to need to make. So far he told us 3 brachas we're going to need to make when Mashiach comes. One is we make the bracha of Goyel Yisrael. 2, he says we're going to make Kiddush. Since it's a Yom Tiv, so there's going to be a mitzvah of Kiddush Hasayim. We're going to make Kiddush when Mashiach comes. And part of Kiddush, we're also going to make a bracha Shehechiyanu. We're going to make a Shehechiyanu on the Yom Tiv.
One day will be the day when Mashiach comes.
Yeah, so that year, that day every year is going to be a Yom Tiv. That day of the Gula, Chaim Falaji writes, he says that it's going to be a Yom Tov, we're going to make Kiddush. And so far those are 3 unique brachas we're going to make when Mashiach comes. There's another bracha which is interesting that Anemi Panau, he wrote a sefer Maimer Shabsais Hashem. Over here, there he's discussing what the Su'udah is going to be like Lasud Lavei. So we know we're going to have a lot of Geshnaka foods over there. We're going to have the Yasa and the Shor Habar, and maybe even the Chamer. We might even have a Chazer. We're going to have. But another thing he brings up over there says we're going to have a Tzinsenes Hamon, the leftover mun that the Eibusher said that you should put inside the jar and hide it away. So it's also Lasud Lavei. They said that we're going to take out that mun and everyone's going to eat from the mun. So that's what's going to happen Lasa Lavi. So once we know that we're going to be eating the man by the Suda Lasa Lavi, the question comes up, do you make a bracha on the man? And if so, what bracha do you make when we eat the man? So the question is, so first of all, if you want to, do you need to make a bracha on man? Since that is a man. I was saying if they manage to taste like every single taste, so you can manage to stay over maybe like the Pach Hashemen. Maybe like the Pach Hashemen. And so the question, if you want to know if you need to make a bracha on man, so you have to. So the question, so if we want to discuss if you need to make a bracha on the man, so you have to discuss why do we make brachas? Why do you need to make bracha on food? The Pasha is a simple reason. It's like Davuda writes is Pasha, you're saying thank you. The Yosef gave you food to eat. You tell him thank you. That's the Pasha reason. So why shouldn't you make a bracha on man? You also tell the Yosef thank you. So the Bnei Yisachar in his Sefer, he wasn't talking about Lasa Lavi. He was talking about in this man of the Midbar. He says when he was sitting by his Rebbe, there was machlekes between him and his Chavedim. If in the Midbar they either made a bracha on the man. Why not? So he gives a different, deeper reason out the Kabbalah why we make a bracha on man. According to this reason, he said why you make a bracha in general. According to this, he says you don't need to make a bracha on the man. So let's see inside in the third Maramachim. Right, so they were sitting by their Rebbe. The nafal bikuach b'davar. They had a machlekes bin hachavedim whether you need to make whether you either made a bracha on the man. Then echad mihen min hachavedim. One of them answered v'haloi hu harav hamkubul me'arav yisrael leib. He says he thinks the father didn't make a bracha on the man. Why? Since it's an lechem avidim which was absorbed into their body, there's no pseilus left over. There's no birurim, there's only good in it, there's no bad. Therefore you don't make a lechem avidim with that was absorbed into their evarim. We're getting there. He says he didn't make a bracha. Why? Why? He says the whole point of making a bracha is because when you're eating food, you're being vared the pseilus. When you eat with the raikavana, you take the netzutzis out and you get rid of the pseilus. And the bracha is there to help you eat with the raikavana. It helps you be vared netzutzis. In the man, there was no birurim. It was a kuli tayv. It was all kaddish. So they didn't need to make a bracha. But man lay hayab pseilus. When the Yisachar says, "V'nenisimi oitil daiti hadonim krevim ela emes," things this mamish krevim ela emes. You see, in the end, he writes over there. He disagrees for a reason we're going to see later. We're going to see someone else says differently, but that's a svara that his chaver wanted to say. So there's another sefer also wanted to say that you don't make a bracha on the man, and for a different reason. The Sefer Nefesh Chaya from Ruven Margolius on Shulchan Aruch. So he was discussing the brachas of there. So he says you don't make a bracha on why? He says what's the reason to make a bracha? The reason to make a bracha is because food. How do you get food? You work, you plant, you sow. It's through the work of your own hands. So something which you earned with your own koyach, you might sometimes forget that it came from the Eberster. You might start thinking it's koyach yadi. I earned it myself. Therefore, you have to make a bracha to remind yourself that everything is from the Eberster. He says by the man which fell down min hashamayim, you don't have to worry. You're not gonna forget that it came from the Eberster. It's pretty obvious. In the fourth Maran Milken, let's read his lashon, and he writes in the Sefer Nefesh Chayim Reish Daled Sif Yud Gimel. It says ki b'chol davar shababi hishtadlus v'yesa adam. Everything which comes through the hard work of a person, sheyachal hataya leimar koichi v'atzim yadi asali kol zeh. Am I thinking that is my own work, my own koyach that earned me all this? Heskinu bracha aleh leidia ke hakom ita izvarim. They're masakin to make a bracha in order that we should know that everything comes from the Eberster. Like came to mashi l'mayla min hateva, but food which is l'mayla min hateva, which is falling min hashamayim, you don't have the problem. Shachilasi hi lula. That's in fact that you're eating it is already a shevach to the Eberster. It's obvious that as soon as you're eating it, you realize there's something special and different over here. Ruven Margolius. It's also from the very chashuv place earlier there. So this is so this is right. So this is the discussion. So we know Lasa Lavi, we're going to be eating the mun by the Su'udah. Besides Leviasa and Sharbar, we're going to be eating the mun. So the question is, do you need to make a bracha on it? So far we have two reasons why we don't need to make a bracha on the mun. However, either because it's the brachas mivar and tzutzis, or the brachas to remind you that everything is from Hashem. Like I say, by mun, it's obvious you don't need these things. However, the Ramemi Pana, when he writes that we're going to be eating the mun, he says we are going to make a bracha, and he says what the bracha is. In the fifth Maramakin, he writes, in Mistabra she'adam harishin yu bal habayis b'isasuda. It's Mistabra says makes sense. Who's going to be the bal habayis? Who's going to bench? Who's going to open up? It's going to be Adam Rishin. But who yavarch chol hamsuvin al haman asher ben sinsenes, and he's going to make a bracha instead of on bread. He's going to make the bracha on the man. He's going to make a bracha baruch hamitzi lecha min hashemayim. What? Yeah, he's going to make a bracha baruch hamitzi lecha min hashemayim. So this is makar for the nusach of such a bracha that it comes from the Ramani Panel. Also, there's a similar nusach from Rabbi Yehuda Chassid in Sefer Chassidim. He writes with a different nusach, Sefer Chassidim. He writes, "Haneisin lachem min hashemayim." However, that's the bracha we're going to make. It's either Hamaitzi or Haneisin lachem min hashemayim. Al Kapanim, this is another bracha that we're going to be making when Moshiach comes. This is the fourth bracha we're going to be making, the bracha on the man. So the Sataka, why? Yeah, you're not saying that. Oh, so we're getting to that soon. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, so next, so we're about to get to some more brothers.
Where's the man going to come?
We're braching away.
The man is going to come from Hashemayim when Moshiach will come.
That was left over. Avish said he should hide the mun in the jar and put it in the mishkan. So it's still hidden somewhere now. So that Amemi Panel, Big Mekubal, he writes when Moshiach comes, we're going to take out that mun and we're going to eat it by the Suda. We're going to with the Shar Habar and the Leviasa, and we're also going to eat the mun. We're going to eat the mun. Yeah, it's going to be a big Suda. So the question is, why do you make, according to this, we are going to make a bracha on the mun, so why do you need to make a bracha on the mun? So either simply like Avraham says that the bracha is just say thank you, so money also needs to say thank you. There's another very geschmacke, while we're bringing all these three reasons why I make a bracha on food, there's a fourth reason the Rebbe brings down. The Rebbe has a very geschmacke verse why you need to make a bracha before eating. So the Rebbe starts off with a shaila. It says in the Gemara Brachos that someone who eats without making a bracha, it's like you're a moil. It's like you ate kachei shamayim. You stole from the Eibusher. You ate kachei shamayim. You're not allowed to eat it. So as a pashta shaila, okay. So now I made the bracha. So what? It's not kachei shamayim anymore. It doesn't belong to the Eibusher. It still belongs to the Eibusher. What does making a bracha help? Let's read Lashon the Shaila, the 6 Maramakim, that writes, Uvitam chiv ha-brachis isa b'meseches brachis, asr leila adam sheyahane mina oilam hazeh b'lei bracha. It's also for a person to eat without making a bracha. B'chol hanen me'ilam hazeh b'lei bracha, mal, you are male. And also it goes weiter, kol hanen mina oilam hazeh b'lei bracha, kilu mal b'katshi shemayim, shenemar, yeah. So the Rebbe asks, v'srech lahavi mahi pulas ha-bracha lahatir ha'anah me'inyane ha'ilam hazeh. How does the bracha help to get rid of this isser of meila? Minyan meila says shem kachei shemayim. Harilei talking leim shabrach mafkiyah hakdusha kachei shemayim. Doesn't make sense to him that the bracha makes it not kachei shemayim anymore. How does the bracha help? So the Rebbe has a very geschmack word. The Rebbe says that by a din is by a zor, Yisrael is not allowed to eat truma, but the eved of a kohen is allowed to eat truma. He's not only truma, but also for certain parts of karbonis. The eved of a kohen is allowed to eat it. Say, when we make a bracha, what are we saying? We're acknowledging that the Eibishter is like Keinu Melech Ha'ilam. The Eibishter is our Eibishter, he's our Melech, and we are his avodim. It was like once we're the Eibishter's avodim, then we can eat the Eibishter's food. So let's read the stickle that it says V'yishleimar Habir V'zeh. Where being mandish is the fact that Eibush is Baal Bais on the world. Being Mekabel of Eibushter. Person making the bracha is the Eved of the Eibushter. Therefore, he's allowed to eat it. Avodim allowed to eat it, so therefore we're allowed to make. Therefore, we're allowed to eat. Therefore, allowed to eat. That's why the bracha helps to eat. So late. So you're Eved of the Eibushter. You can eat the Eibushter's food. So according to this, so we're asking. So why the shayla if you need to make a bracha on the mun, lots of love, when we're going to eat the mun by the suda. So according to this, this reason, saying it's also Eibushter's food. It's not also they need to make a bracha. Like the Ramani Panel says that we're going to make a bracha that's so what other brachas? So far we had the brachas we had the bracha Goyal Yisrael we're going to make. We had a bracha that the Chaim Fashi says we're going to make Kiddush. It's going to be Yom Tif, Lasu Love, so we're going to make Kiddush. A second bracha, third bracha, he says we're going to make Shechianu. Shechianu is part of Kiddush. And also we had Meisach Min HaShamayim. So now, the Rebbe brings down another reason why we're going to need to make a bracha Shechianu. Not mitzad Kiddush, but mitzad, there's a din. If you didn't see a chaver for a long time, for 30 days, make a bracha Shechianu. So I was saying the Rebbe by for making Simchas Torah, the Rebbe was saying that you should make a bracha, make Kiddush, Shechianu should be Yitzeh everyone. And the Rebbe said, well, as soon as you should be Zeichet to make the bracha, as soon as the Shechianu when Moshiach comes. So in the 7th Marim, the Rebbe writes, Simchas Torah Tashem Mem Tes, the Rebbe says, "V'oid v'hua iker should take of miyan niskil v'arch Shechianu v'kimanu v'yanu lizman hazeh al hageula hamitis v'ashleima." Idea and Shech Sid Kenu, Kefisha Mistabe Bepashas, Pashas makes sense. Shekasha Yiruas Mashiach Sid Kenu Bepam Risheno. When we see Melech HaMashiach the first time, it's Tarchul Levarach Shechianu. B'mikol Shekain L'Kavachayim B'Bicha Shechianu Arias Chaveirei Shalira O Afilu Shleishim Yom. Kol Shekain Kavachayim. If you didn't see your friend for 30 days, if the din is you're supposed to make a Shechianu. So Kol Shekain, when we see Melech HaMashiach, it's going to be gracious Simcha. We didn't see Melech HaMashiach for a long time. We're gonna make a bracha Shechianu.
Question is, all the world was not gonna see. Maybe I don't know. How are they gonna see the Moshiach? They will see through the internet, through WhatsApp. Moshiach is coming. When you say the bracha, when you see right away.
When you see him, or when you?
When you see him.
Okay.
Face to face.
I don't know. Just stop it. So there's. I don't remember the sefer. I don't remember which sefer it was. There's a tshuva from one of the nowadays achreinim, and the Tafshin was printed, a Svardisha. He was also discussing what brachas we're going to make when Mashiach comes, and he brought up the idea maybe we're going to make a bracha Shechianu, just like the din of if you didn't see your friend for a long time. But he asked two questions on it. He says it's fair to say that you're going to make the bracha, the Shechianu. Why? So in the 8th Marim, we'll see in Shulchan Aruch, the first question he brings is that if you didn't see him for 30 days, you make Shechianu, but if you didn't see him for 12 months, you make a bracha Mechaya HaMesim. So he says, it shouldn't be Shechianu, it should be Mechaya HaMesim. In the 8th Marim, Shulchan Aruch, Erechaim, Reish Chafei, writes, Harayas Chaveirei, La'achar Shleishim Yom, Eimer Shechianu. V'achar Shnei Masar Chodesh, Mevarech Mechaya HaMesim. After that, you make the bracha Mechaya HaMesim. This is chaviv to you, and you're very happy when you see him. So this is one shayla he has. He says it's not. So he says first he wanted to see maybe we can make shechianu. He has a question. Shouldn't be shechianu. Should be a mechaya hamesim, right? Because it's been more than Yud Beis Chodesh since we saw Melech HaMashiach. And that's one shayla he has. The second shayla he has is in the second paragraph. Is that the din of Shechianu is only if you saw the person before and you didn't see him for a long time. But someone who you never ever saw before, and now you're seeing him, even though you heard about him and you had a correspondence with him, the din is you don't make a Shechianu. So that's in the second paragraph. He writes, the Shulchan Aruch says, Misha lo yira es chaveira me'olam, someone who never saw his friend before, v'shalach leik savim, and they had a correspondence. Yeah, they were pen pals. Even though he's very happy to see him, you don't make a bracha on seeing him. So what? So the shaila is, so those people who weren't zeicha to see Melech HaMashiach, so what bracha are they going to be able to make a bracha? So what's the reason for that? What's the reason? So look in the ninth Maramach, and Mishnah Berurah explains. He's quoting the Magen Avram. Shalach like Savin says, "Reitzel Leimar, Afal Pisha Ritzuk Savim Yizalzeh." Even though they wrote letters one to another, and they became close friends. Since they never met each other face to face, the love between them isn't so strong. Until you're going to until the point that he's going to have such a big simcha that it's big enough to make a bracha on it. So only somebody actually saw face to face, that's where you have real big enough simcha to make a bracha shechiyanu. So this is the second question he brought. This brought up in the Sefer whether you can be able to make a bracha shechiyanu when Mashiach comes. But this second shaila he enters. He says that you see there's certain exceptions that even though you never saw someone, you could make a shechiyanu on them. One of the dogma, he brings it in, the Mishnah Berurah himself brings it in from the Pri Megadim, that if someone heard that he had a child, so then when you see your child, you make a bracha shechiyanu. So he says, what happened if he had a child, he didn't see him and he was away, and he came back after 12 months? What bracha does he make a bracha mechayim meis and shechiyanu? So Pri Megadim says, yeah, even though you never saw him before, but someone so close to you, we know that you had a big enough simcha to make a bracha shechiyanu. So it could be also lost of love. Mashiach comes, even though those people never saw Melech HaMashiach before, we know pretty well that they're going to have a big enough simcha that they could make a shechiyanu. So that question he didn't answer. So let's read the second paragraph in the ninth Maramach. Mishnah writes, Kosa Pri Megadim, the inis vasu lo sheyalda ishtay. If someone found out that his wife gave birth, but who hayav in Medina Sayyam, and he was in a different country, but and he sees him now, so he makes a bracha shechiyanu or mechayim mesim l'achar yudlis chedesh. The vada yesh le simcha bevolde. For sure, he has a simcha the fact that he's born after Yirah only oilam. So you see, this is the general rule: is you don't make a shechiyanu if you never saw the person before. But if you have someone who's so close to you we know for sure you have a simcha, you could make the bracha. So, even those people who didn't see Melech HaMashiach before, there's no problem of making a bracha shechiyanu. So he doesn't frame for the shayla. The Rebbe says that we're going to make a bracha shechiyanu. I b'chayda after Yud Beis Chedesh you make a bracha mechayim mesim. I don't know, but the Rebbe says shechiyanu. I'm not sure what the answer to that question is. So far we have. So this is two reasons why we're going to be making shechiyanu. One is for Chaim Falaji says we're going to make kiddush. We're going to make shechiyanu. Second is when we see Melech HaMashiach rei pnei chaviri. So there's a Mincha Shleima brings down this. Someone wrote to him from Rash Humuner that he brings up another svar of the we're going to make shechiyanu. Mitzad the besuras teva. I said, then if you have besuras teva, you hear good news, you got a Yerusha, you make a bracha shechiyanu. Right, that's in. So they bring up a svar. You're going to make a bracha. That's the third reason why you can make a bracha. You're going to make a bracha shechiyanu also besuras tevis. Let's skip the 10th one. Let's go to the 11th Maramach. So in the Tshuva Mincha Shleima, so this is not Shleima Zalman Orbach Sloshin, this is the Shaila. Rash Humner, he was writing the Shailas. He thinks we're going to make these 4 brachas. We're going to read inside. This is the Lashon that he wrote. So he wrote in the 11th Maramach, Hashem Yisvarach Zakeinu Meheida L'Kabel Pnei Mashiach. Unevarech Yimis Hashem, we're going to make Arba brachis. We're going to make these 4 brachis. 1, Baruch Chacham Harazim. Dina Chacham Harazim, when you what is the bracha of Chacham Harazim? Let's actually jump to the 12th Maramach. Let's see what's the Pashup Shat. 12th Maramach says, Haroya Shishim Riba Yisrael. If you see 600,000 Yidden together, Biyachad Eimer Barchat Hashem Lekeinu Melchaylam Chacham Harazim. Add the Chacham, the wise one of the secrets. Why? What does that mean, the wise one of the secrets? The Mishnah Berurah explains. Chacham Harazim She'ein Daitan Doimin Zolazeh. You have 600,000 people here, and their opinions are all different. They ain't Parsufei and Doimin Zolazeh. Their faces are all different, and their opinions. The Eibusher knows what's in the hearts of all these people. That's when you see 600,000 people, you make a bracha Chacham Harazim. So that's the first bracha he writes over here. We're going to make. Let's continue. The second bracha, right? Shebevadai Yusham Shishim Riba Yisrael, Ukeina Eid Mispar, and even more. Second bracha he writes is Baruch Shechalak Michachmasi Lireyav. And when you see Chachmi Yisrael, you make a bracha Shechalak Chachmasi Lireyav. So all that Tanaim Amrei Meishavin, everyone's going to be there. So make that bracha. Third bracha he writes is Baruch Shechalak Mikvede Lireyav. When you see Malchei Yisrael, you make that Eibish's Mechalak is covered to them. So when we see Melech HaMashiach, we're going to make this bracha. Then also fourth one he writes Baruch Shechianu. So to make a sikkim, how many brachas do we have over here? We're going to be making. So we have bracha Geil Yisrael. Chaim Falaji says we're going to need to make. Also, it's going to be Yom Tov. We're going to make Kiddush. It's going to be Yom Tov Gomer. So we're going to make Kiddush. Then we're going to make Shech. Maybe I don't know. So we're going to. I don't know. So we're going to make Kiddush. We're also going to make a Shechiyana, which we saw three different reasons for making Shechiyana. One is because it's a part of Kiddush on the Yom Tov. One is Misad, when we're Rei Pnei Chavei, we see Melech HaMashiach for the first time. It's been a long time we saw him. We're going to make a bracha Shechiyana. And also Misad the Besuras Tevis, right? So we have three reasons to make a Shechiyana. So the fifth bracha we have is that Rameh now says we're going to make Baruch HaMeitzilach Min HaShemayim, because we're going to eat that Tzinsenes Haman by the Su'uda, Allah Sulavai. Meitzilach Min HaShemayim. And we have, what else? We had Chacham Harazim. Chacham Harazim. We had Chacham Chachmasi Lireyav. Chachmasi Lireyav. Mikvei Lireyav. Yes, I lost counts. About eight brachas. So far we're going to be making lots of lovely.